And now I'd like to introduce advocate for the Nevada Opportunity Scholarship Program, Canny Dempsey Gowdy.
Hi, thank you, Rhea, and I want to first of all thank the Metro Chamber of Commerce for this wonderful opportunity. Obviously, education is a hot topic, and everybody's always looking at opportunities of how we can improve education here. When we look at our scorecards, Nevada always falls to the very bottom of whether it's students who are graduating, what their achievement scores are, how people are excelling, if they're going on to college. So we often talk about, especially in election years, how can we get out of these bottom categories and how can we improve? And if you've seen what's happening lately with the school deficit having to make additional budget cuts while also implementing a reorganization, clearly the school district has a lot going on. But we have found that students who are thriving, who feel safe in their schools, who feel challenged and feel like it's a good fit, do succeed and grow and become more accomplished. So when businesses ask the question, what can I do to make a difference, or how can we get involved to make a difference, this is one of these direct opportunities. So I'm excited today to have Denise Lasher here with the ESA program, which is the MBT Opportunity Scholarship and Tax Credit, and she's going to go over these wonderful opportunities because honestly this is a win-win for the business owner in Nevada and for students in Nevada, especially those who are economically challenged. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Denise.
Thank you, Cammie, and it's a pleasure to be here with the Metro Chamber of Commerce this morning. And I am an advisor with the American Federation for Children, and we've been doing a lot of work in Nevada for the last 3 to 4 years in K-12 education reform. And one of the first programs that was passed was many of us call it the Opportunity Scholarship Program or the Nevada Choice Scholarship Program. Just a little review of school choices, nothing new to many, many states in the United States, and in addition to Nevada. There's 26 states plus Washington, D.C. that have 52 programs now, private school choice programs. 400,000 children are enrolled, and there's over 3 million scholarship opportunities available through those programs. Illinois is the latest state to enact a private school choice program. A very, very blue state passed legislation that was signed by their governor that created a $100 million tax credit program, very similar to the program that you have here in Nevada. So a total of $1.5 billion in public funds are supporting these school choice programs across the country. So it's very exciting what you have going on here in Nevada. Just a real quick overview of this particular program. It was created in 2015 by the Nevada legislature. It allows a Nevada employer to receive a dollar-for-dollar credit against their quarterly MBT liability for donations that they make to an approved scholarship organization. So the businesses get a 100% tax credit and allows the business to redirect their tax liability directly to fund K-12 educational options for economically disadvantaged children. And companies may carry forward that tax credit should they need to for up to 5 years, which is incredible that this particular program allows all of these options. And as we all know from the data across the country and various programs, and this one here in Nevada, that these type of programs change children's lives and will build a stronger community. It's very simple for a company to apply for the tax credit as well. You simply send your completed tax credit reservation form to the AAA Scholarship Foundation, and the AAA Foundation then submits the form to the Nevada Department of Taxation on the company's behalf. And once the credit reservation is approved, and they have 20 days to approve it, then the AAA Scholarship Foundation will notify the company of their approval, and then there's a 30-day window for the company to make their donation. Once the donation has been made, then AAA notifies the Department of Taxation, and then the company will receive what's called an affidavit of contribution for them to use for their tax files. And I believe they also get acknowledgement from the Department of Taxation that their credit is approved. And the best thing about it is then scholarships are awarded to the needy children and families, and they're so happy and very, very thankful to have this opportunity. Many times people ask, how does the program actually work? How do parents get access to this? Many times they find out about it from the various activities that we've been doing out in the community and making the community aware, the underserved communities of the city of Las Vegas aware of this opportunity. And thousands of parents come out to apply. We actually have workshops set up many times in libraries and in the schools for them to come and apply. They can apply online, and there's also a paper application for those who don't have access to the internet. The families, they must provide documentation of their total household income, because this is a need-based scholarship, and these include their completed tax return and other financial data. Once they're approved, the scholarships are awarded, and the largest amount of the awards are given to the lowest income families. So those that need it the most get the most funding. And renewing families, they'll get priority, and this is just a wonderful program. These type of programs have been around for like 15 years. Florida has the largest one in the nation with over 100,000 low-income children benefiting from their program there. And it's a great opportunity. So financially needy families that are looking for a different educational option, they now have access to this. And just so not to confuse anybody, this is totally separate from the Education Savings Account program that we've read so much about and was actively discussed this last legislative session. Then also, many times as taxpayers, we need to be concerned about what type of accountability there is in these type of programs. And this program is built with very, very strong accountability. The scholarship organizations have to award at least 95% of all the funds they receive have to be awarded in scholarships. So they can only keep a maximum of 5% to administer the program, which is very little. When you look at nonprofits, most of them need more than 5% to operate. So most all the money, 95%, goes to scholarships. AAA Scholarship Foundations focuses on, as I stated, the lowest income families, and 85% of all their scholarships are distributed to children from households that are making less than 185% of poverty. So these are very poor families that are benefiting from their scholarships. There's annual audits that must be submitted to the Department of Education, and AAA actually undergoes an annual independent audit. They have 6 years of what we call clean audits from these independent audits, and of course their financials are available for public inspection. The scholarship organizations in the schools, they in turn must report detailed data on a quarterly basis to the Department of Education, and you can see the various things that they have to report. The department compares all that data, they monitor it to make sure a child is not getting more than the maximum amount that they can get. But AAA goes even further in that they verify the students attended prior to their scholarship payments that are made 4 times a year. And for more fiscal accountability, they require the schools and the parents to endorse those checks as an added measure. So that also reduces the opportunity for maybe mishandling of funds. They have very strict financial accountability measures that are built into how they happen to manage their operations. Academically, we're always concerned about making sure that there is academic accountability for any dollar spent in education. All the students must take a national norm reference test. Those results are reported to the department, and they're tracking those results and will be every 2 years releasing a report on that data, on the longitudinal study on how students are doing that, have been taken advantage of this program. Nationally, there's been many empirical studies that have been done on choice programs, and they have shown that the students that enroll in these programs have done extremely well and have, many cases, exceeded academically their cohorts that remained in public school. So, but again, it's not just about academics, it's about finding a safe environment, an environment that's a good fit for a child, and when you achieve that, then many times those academics also exceed tremendously. Just a real quick look at the student demographics, and this data again comes from AAA Scholarship. 1/3 of all the students are Hispanic, 14% African American, and 29% Caucasian. So very much similar to what we see in our public school K-12 enrollment. 85% of the students attend a private school here in Southern Nevada. The average household income is only $40,000, not much money at all. And their average scholarship award is $6,976. And that's on average. As I said, when the families get up to that 300% of poverty, which is the maximum they can earn to qualify, then they get a reduced scholarship amount. With the largest awards, I think it's $7,500 going to the poorest families. Many of us may have read at the end of session, very excited about this, Governor Sandoval signed a bill raising the Opportunity Scholarship cap from, it was around $6 million, and added an additional $26 million to the program. So that was a huge achievement for the leaders, particularly Paul Anderson was very active in trying to make sure that we got additional money, and Governor Sandoval came through and pushed that measure at the final days of session. So it just opened the door for more families here in the metro area to take advantage of this. Currently, there's about $11 million of that $26 million remaining to be taken in, to be utilized by Nevada businesses. Again, as I said, this allows a company to redirect their MBT liability specifically to help financially needy children have access to more educational options. Companies get 100%, a dollar-for-dollar credit for any funds they redirect. And this year we saw a huge uptick in applications as a result of the increase in the cap, over 1,500 applications just to AAA this year, new applications, and there's still more families, many more families that are waiting to get funded for a scholarship. It truly is a win-win for all. It's a win-win for businesses, it's a win-win for these families and the children in particular, and it's a win-win for our community. Should any members have a need for additional information, there's a list of our name, our information, our email addresses. Carrie Vaughn is the Managing Director at AAA Foundation. And we also have on the phone, I'm sorry I didn't introduce her at the beginning, Allison Nielsen, who works with Carrie, joined us on the call. So if any members have any particular technical questions, feel free to ask. But in conclusion, we just like to say, don't simply pay your taxes, make a life-changing difference for a child at no cost to you. And here's a beautiful quote from one of the parents. She happened to attend the bill signing with the governor, and you can see that she's been able to enroll her 3 children in a school that is the very best fit for her children's needs. And they finally have a chance for a better future. They feel confident and they're thriving. And there are hundreds and hundreds of other parents that have relayed similar sentiments about having this opportunity to take advantage of a better educational opportunity for their child. Thank you so much.
So we're going to open the floor now for any questions that you may have for Cammie or Denise. You, again, can type any of your questions inside the chat box in the lower left-hand corner or press *7 on your phone to unmute your line and go ahead and ask your question. All right, so if you don't have any questions, let me go back to the slide with Cammie and Denise's information. You can submit those questions to them directly along with Carrie. If you guys do have anything else, there's also any other questions, there's also a link there for you to go directly and check out their website. I definitely want to thank Cammie and Denise for presenting today's webinar, very useful information. I also want to remind you to join us next Friday where we discuss the ways you could keep your employees engaged. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.